Yeah, we're just talking, yeah. Here's Adam, my good friend.
Hello.
Adam Lewington on Facebook.
Nice to meet you all.
Yep. So we're going to have a look at Tartaria in, this is Abbotsford in Melbourne, folks. There it is.
One of the holy sites of the Indigenous people. They still do burns here every 3 years, but it's a conquered land. It's a conquered land here. They know it's still spiritual. You should go up these stairs and have a look at this plaque on the window.
Yep, let's. What do we got here? Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven. This
Houses,
is where the,
houses of the Holy.
This is where the girls slept back in the days.
Oh, thank you.
Isis, Horus, Set. Ooh. Overlooking the courtyard out here, the holy gardens.
The Jesuits. There they are.
And you can see the rose cross on the doors as well.
Rose cross.
The heart chakra.
Yep. This is all here pre-colonisation, pre-corporatisation of the Aboriginal Tartaria.
Jesuit built.
So-called Jesuit built. They didn't build shit, mate. They were busy going around killing. They weren't conquering and killing conquistadores, and they're not building anything, mate. They were actually desecrating these buildings. They want nothing more than to just, pillage and plunder all the riches of the earth. Tartaria was so rich,
So this is the building where the girls would come and sleep in the dorms, and a lot of pregnant girls were brought here in the history of this building through the Catholic Empire, and the girls were forced to have the children here. They were taken from the girls, and the girls were put into psychiatric wards, and many girls have actually jumped off some of the top stories of one of the first buildings because it's a hard life being trapped by the Empire. But here's some evidence of the destruction, taking the statues from there.
Yes, I wonder why they had to take that statue out. Would that be Jesus pre-Rothschild Windsor corporate takeover of Australis and Tartaria?
And it's always interesting to see how they place their plaques, like the oratory, the oracle. They'll tell you, but they won't tell you.
That's right.
They'll never tell you what you need to know.
That's right. They just tell you enough, brother. Sacred heart.
Red sack red.
Scared. A scared heart.
Makeda, mercenary.
Yep. We going this way? We go through here? So this is just a beautiful place in Melbourne, Abbotsford. I've been here many times, but I haven't actually, gone through here with the eyes of Tartaria, mud floods. There you go, Mercator projection. Well, Mercury is that's like America. So if you put M in front of that, you've got America, and that is Mer is the Merkaba, or Mercury, and that's the Ka is the cube or the soul, and that's of course the Taurus field. So the Mercator transverse projection map is actually a false map, and some people who don't like the circular flat earth model, they think that the coordinate system is actually using the perfect transverse projection map, but it's not. It's trickery. It's trickery, and you can tell. That one of my friends, Chincha Govinda Das, he's made his own flat Earth map. And it's brilliant. It's all comprehensive and extensive, and he's saying that if you look at the state lines of the Northern Territory, they're narrower at the top than they are at the bottom, showing that those are magnetic lines. When you see these state borders, right, straight lines, that's all magnetism, man. It's all pointing to the North Pole, which is the center of the Earth, right? So if you, and he did the measurements, and he found that even in Canada and in America, all of those straight state lines that run north-south, they're all pointing to the North Pole. Okay. Tartaria.
But you can see on most of their buildings, they usually have the black stone bases.
Yeah.
Which, if you look in metaphysics, all the black stones are the grounding stones,
Like these ones.
Yep. Black
Yeah.
obsidian, black onyx, black tourmaline.
Yeah.
The handle of the wand,
Yeah.
the quartz tips on it. But if you look at their buildings, it's much the same. You've got the black stone base to ground,
Yeah.
then the bricks are the calcium carbonate, which is the quartz,
Yeah.
which is the generation. And
Yeah.
then they put the tips on the top, which are copper, so they conduct the ions from the ionosphere, which is electric. And it's a wonderful place that they did build, for sure. Wonderful. And then if you look at this plaque here on the wall, the Rosinha, they'll tell you about the girls that stayed here, but they won't tell you about the ritual grounds and how they perform the rituals. They'll tell you enough, but never enough.
I know, mate. I know how they do it. I know how they work. They stick it under your nose and hide it, and then they laugh at you. And they think they've got power by doing that, by putting a magic spell on people. So there's the vegan cafe, lentil as anything, that we had lunch at. It was pretty good. I've had way better food. Yesterday I had a risotto at an ordinary restaurant, and he made it vegan for me. It was the best risotto I've ever had. You come to a place here, but I mean the food's cheap, so it's good. All right, man, I'm going to close this video off. Here we go, folks. So you can check this out yourself, Abbotsford. What is it called?
The Convent Abbotsford. It's some pretty big grounds. But you look up lentil as anything, and yeah, it's very old building, not lining up with the history of the place truly. And it's actually the only place in Australia where multiple governments of Aboriginal culture met together to see what would politically be happening in the area for the future. So all the Aboriginals, they had their elders, but this is the only place in Australia where all the elders met to discuss politics, as this plaque will show us here.
Oh, okay. The Wurundjeri people. The Abbotsford Convent is an important part of Wurundjeri country. The Yarra River, Ya, Jehovah, Ra, Jehovah the Ram, River, Birarung means river of mists, is a key part of Wurundjeri dreaming. Close by, where the Mary Creek, there you go, Mary, Isis Mary, meets the Yarra. Syncretism in Australia, pre-corporate takeover, folks. Ceremonial place of Central Victorian tribes, also known as Quillan.
So it was the central meeting place of the tribes, and
tribes.
Very powerful land. They say this is where the song lines start in Aboriginal culture, which you can call the NASCAR lines or the ley lines, whatever it be. It's all magnetic.
There you go, there's the spiritual elders, man. There's a photograph of one of the leaders of the land, the great geniuses, and these people were visionaries, dreamers, connected to source. And then came Rothschild with the corporate Union Jack and said, we're taking over and we're going to decimate the city, the urban centres, and repopulate them with orphans from Ireland, etc. And, you know, make a pretend history that we built all this shit, and yet it was here for thousands of years prior to white man's coming here with his corporations. So that's it. Thanks, guys.
Here we go. Built in 1871.
Always 1871. Everything was built in 1871, folks.
So remember that number. Have a look at this.
It's just incredible, isn't it? 1870, 1871. All the buildings in Australia seem to have been built.
1870. Doesn't align with the numbers they're telling us, and it's the only part of the church. It's a modification. It's been added.
Yeah, that's hollow.
And it's the only broken stone in this whole church. So they've, while embellishing a false date on that,
Yep.
they've made a mistake.
Yeah.
They fucked it up.
Yeah.
Done some damage.
Yep. I know. I've seen this before too, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. So what they did was these were all original Christian free energy, spiritual healing places, and they just came, removed a few key stones, changed the frequency of the place, and now you have control by a religion, corporate religion, that is.